Okay, so this video is on investment strategies below market value, aka BMV. So, with regards to below market value deals, what we're ideally looking for is 15 to 20% below current market value. Now, you will have already seen the videos on how to appraise property correctly. So what we're actually looking to do is get properties 15 to 20% below that amount. Now, the reason that we're looking to get properties below 15 to 20% below market value is because upon refinancing of that property, whether you refinance it within the first 6 months or whether you're looking to refinance it in a couple of years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever it might be, you want to be able to get your money back out, your initial investment back out, or as much of that amount as possible. So 15 to 20% is because most buy-to-let or refinancing products are going to require a minimum of 15% to be left in. So 15 to 20% is a good amount for below market value strategy. Now, the good thing about this strategy is it applies anywhere in the UK. Now, of course, if you're looking down south in London or anywhere around the south, getting 15 to 20% below market value deals is more difficult, but actually it can apply anywhere with the right strategy, marketing strategy, with the right lead generation activity. You're going to be able to find these properties. You're going to find more in the north than you are in the south, but it does apply to anywhere in the UK. And of course, you're looking for sellers that have high equity in their property. Now, generally, this means that they've held on to that property for a long period of time. So people that have bought their property in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s are going to have a good amount of equity in the property. And the reason we want sellers with high equity in their property is because they are going to be potentially more inclined to accept an offer in order for them to be able to move on with whatever their plans might be. Now, they are becoming more difficult to find. The property market as we speak in 2017 is buoyant, generally across most of the UK. So below market values are becoming more difficult to find. 20 to 25% almost impossible to find nowadays. But there are still good deals at 12 to 15% below market value where investors are going to be able to get most of their initial investment back out. And of course, this strategy is primarily going to be achieved through direct to vendor, direct to seller. Big reason for that, of course, in a buoyant market is estate agents will not advise their clients to take the offers that we're going to put in. So you can still get them. They're just a bit more difficult to find through estate agents. You're really looking to try and get direct to seller. Now, like I mentioned, investors are looking to recycle their initial investment. So whatever investors put in at the beginning, deposit, refurb costs, their buying costs, stamp duty, legals, and your sourcing fee, they want to get as much of that initial investment back out of the property on refinance. So the lower the below market value percentage is, the higher, the below market value percentage is, means the more likely they're going to get most or all of their money back out. So really important when you're doing your calculations. What you also need to do with below market value deals when you're presenting these to investors, when you're sourcing and packaging, is you need to calculate the return on investment, the ROI, on the money that is going to be left in the deal. So of course, if no money is left in the deal, it is an infinite return on investment. But if they're leaving £10,000 in the deal, you need to calculate what that annual income, net income, is going to be in terms of a return on investment on the money that still remains in the deal. Kind of look at it as whatever money is left in the deal is like the investor's savings pot. So whatever they've had to park in a savings account, they're getting the ROI, so that interest per month, per year. That's what they're making, and that's the investment deal that they've purchased. So like I mentioned, we're looking at 15 to 20% below, and like I say, very difficult to find in a buoyant market, but inexperienced investors need to be educated on these. So what I mean by that is you get a lot of investors that are coming out of training programs who are being told that they must look for 20% below market value deals or nothing. And the point is that they're just not around as often as they used to be, and we need to educate the inexperienced investors. The more experienced investors are not going to quibble now over the 20% plus deals. They are more understanding of the 15%, even the 12s, the 13%, depending on the area. So, of course, we go into area research in future modules, but for this particular inexperienced investors, just make sure if they're insistent on 20%, just advise them honestly that you cannot help, and you just move on to an investor that's more likely to purchase deals that you find. And that's below market value.